I've just completed the Sand Devils Turn Attack Tournament. Well, I basically went for the guaranteed rewards, not going for the top reward, which is competing with everyone else. And I want to show you guys my team. It's a different team than what you might be used to. It's not a guaranteed time in the sense of farming, because sometimes if you get resisted, unfortunately, which happens in this game with at least a 3% chance, the runs will be a little bit longer, but it seems to be consistent enough for me to be happy about it, even if it doesn't get the guaranteed time of about 29 to 30 seconds, okay? So if it takes longer because of a resist, I'm totally fine with that. I don't think there's a way around that in any of the teams, right? So let's get started, guys. Another raid video today, another team to showcase. Let's go over to the Sand Devil. I understand that a lot of players out there don't even bother with the Sand Devil, but some of you guys out there might do. So this is why my videos sometimes go way in the end game in terms of the team's potential, the speeds required and all that. And sometimes I drop back to the free-to-play teams and all that. I want to vary my content and I want to showcase everything that I can. Well, everything that seems to be what the community desires, right? I think I have a mixture of both end game, new players, mid game players, and all that in my community. So let's get started. Stage 25, right? This is the team. I understand it is an end game team, but if you're looking to beat this one, the Sand Devil, at under a minute, then this is the kind of team that you'll be looking for. If you don't care about that and you have something like a Gamechanger and Ninja, then definitely you can do like a 2-minute team and actually use food champions in there as well. So have that in mind. Let me show you guys the run first, and then I'll drop back, show you the team custom AI and everything. Just see how it works. Obviously, Gamechanger is there to basically secure a revival on my CP who's in the leader slot on purpose, all right? Then we have basically a showcase of how strong Gnut is for this content. Gnut. I keep calling it different names. All right, let's see. We get the guaranteed sleep there from the CP. That's very strong. We get the reho there. Boom, boom, boom. By my Gnut there. Then we get the reset. Gnut will go once again and triple hit there on the boss. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. And then the boss will go and start smacking us. Look at that. Big smack. Gamechanger auto revived my Sifi. And then Sifi revives Riho, who goes in again and gets a resist, but it's totally fine because boom, boom, boom. The boss dropped to about 5%. I think that's where, if I had a little bit better gear on my Gnut, I think I would have made a more consistent team. But you guys can see, look at that. Even the Reaper does basically 0 damage because of how the boss exists. So, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, there we go. Just waiting here. This is like one of the longer runs, so we should be okay. Even the counterattacks from Gnut do some damage. When the Giant Slayer procs, we get like 5k hits there. There's my Riho. She'll try to do some damage. Are we gonna die here when the boss takes a turn? We'll see. Maybe we can sleep the boss. Oh, the boost wasn't what we needed. Such a longer run. Let's see. Okay, Gnut is revived and he goes in there with the A3. I thought this was actually going to be a fail run. But yeah, with that A3 there from Gnut, we basically secured the run. This was one of my longest runs. But the good time would be 29 seconds. And I think with better gear, so that Gnut starts out with the maximum damage that he can, which is around the 290k mark, I should be able to do that. But because I use him in a Relentless set for my Fire Knight team, I didn't want to mess that up. Since there's a Fire Knight, 3x on Savage coming soon. So I thought I'm not going to equip him with Savage, which would obviously give him a lot more damage and more consistency for this run. So this was one of the runs. Let's see if we can get like a 30-second run for me to show you guys what really happens when we have everything working as we want, right? So bam, bam, bam. Look at that. 445. And remember, Gnut also reduces permanently the boss's health. I think if I had stuff like Brimstone, the damage would be even higher. So yeah, look at that. Get hit. And this always happens, this rotation of the revive on Gnut. The positioning matters. I'll explain everything in just a second, guys. So here, 1, 2, 3, big hit there. There's the Reaper, and the boss takes a turn. The Eshu Baron kills it off. 30 seconds, 17 turns. pretty strong. We also get 50 tournament points. I've seen some crazy teams out there. I'll show you guys the alternatives that I was thinking about building, but I went ahead and finished with this team. I think my buddy Big D in ET has made the team himself. I'm not sure if he made it or he found it for somewhere else, but I also found it over on the Optimizer website. I'll show you guys in just a second. Let's just do it one more time. I want to see if we get a failure. I've run it over with RSL Helper and it looked to be consistent, but you know, the longer runs make the average time longer than 30 seconds, right? So I think the Savage and Cruel would give this team a very consistent low time for the clears, but it's still pretty solid. I think the stats required overall by building these kind of teams are quite crazy, and not having the live arena bonuses help you out makes this even more difficult. So see there, very little bit of health that I need to take down. Very little bit of health. Brimstone, more damage on my buddy Gnut there. This would all make the change there. Look at that. The boss got two bars of health and it's just not budging. It's just not budging. He's taking barely any damage because of how this works. And I think that maybe he'll get an A3. The A3 has a longer cooldown with like 4 turns. That's why we're not pulling through. Even with Riho reviving, she doesn't really have damage. I've built her with some damage. Look at that. Longer run. So with a little bit more damage, I would have the consistency that I want. So let me show you guys the team gear. The preset, which also is the showcase of the stats and all, but I'll show you the gear after that. So the preset, basically you want to start with CP with her sleep. Obviously you want to sleep the boss. You don't need the 400 speed. Obviously that is crazy to think about for even the end game players. They might be closer to 380 on average. Many more have higher speeds than this, but yeah, still difficult. God Seeker and Eerie basically have just double Stone Skin, and that's it. I went for defensive stats as well, but that doesn't matter. Stone Skin doesn't fall off because of the damage that the boss does. Obviously, don't go in there with basically 0 stats because it's still a shield that the Stone Skin provides you. It's not a complete, you know, stopping of the damage. So remember that. I always have priority on the revive because she will only do it if somebody's dead. So have that in mind. And her passive works on the leader first. So that's why I have Sifi in the lead, Godseeker right after, so that Sifi always is revived after this. And remember, Gnut will also be revived by the revive that Godseeker has because of the speed that she has. And then the rotation goes as follows, where Sifi will revive Riho, but with full turn meter. And that's why Riho goes before Gnut to apply all the debuffs that we want. So that's why I have Riho right here in the end. And Gnut, 257 speed, 3.7k defense, 272 crit damage with 332 accuracy. The accuracy you don't need for this, guys, remember. And it doesn't really land anything on the boss. This is for my Fire Knight team. So if you don't use Gnut in your Fire Knight team, you can go with 0 accuracy and just straight up more damage. Prince Karmar is again with the Stone Skin, a little bit faster though than Godseeker at an almost 250 with Stone Skin again, so he survives the big damage from the boss. And then Riho with a 282, basically faster than the boss, so we can have that, you know, multiple amount of debuffs that she applies with pressure points here. All of these help with damage potential from my Gnut. And then if I had, I'll explain the gearing in a little bit, but if I had better gear, I could have seen like a faster time also. I'll explain what I mean by that. I also have some crit rate and crit damage on her, but it doesn't do anything. 658 accuracy. Looks like it's even lower than that. With the boss having 500 resistance, 658 still shows me some resists. More than the 3%, or at least I'm noticing it more. So it's a little bit weird. This is the rotation, guys. She opens up with the debuffs. Then because she will take a turn and do this, we have the cleanse basically going right after. And then when she revives, she'll be able to apply the pressure point. So have that in mind, that this is the rotation that you want to follow. The speeds I don't think are that crazy. It's the accuracy requirements plus the speeds, like example for the Riho, that might be difficult for everybody else. All right, the CV can be anything in the 300s, honestly, and you should be okay. CV is honestly a must-have for this one because she applies a guaranteed sleep. So there's no way around that. Prince Karma could be changed a little bit, but because I've built this team with Prince Karma, the speed boosting that he provides, the turn meter boosting, affects how the rotation will go with the skill. So you'll have to play around if you're using a different reset champion, let's say a Yumiko. I'm not sure if Renegade can do the same. I kind of doubt it because of just 2 turns reduction. Riho will be able to apply her A2. Sifi doesn't really care about this. It doesn't care about the A2, not that much. It is a 4-turn cooldown skill. So there might be some, you know, things that you need to try out with this one if you're going to use a Renegade. I haven't tried it. I'm not going to try it, honestly, because that's going to be a lot of energy wasted in this for trying that out. So that is the team. Let me show you guys the gear, and then we'll close it off with some alternatives that I saw. And even a 15-second team for the Sand Devil, that's nuts. I was going to build it, but it looked a little bit difficult in terms of the gear requirements for me. So I'll show that in the end. So CV, honestly, just speed. Didn't try to do anything else than my speed CV, so not really gonna bother showing anything for her. She's built like so since forever. And then we have my girl Riho, which is honestly a pretty strong champion. Was looked down upon at the start when she was out, but then she really showed her utility in both PvE and PvP content. So her gear is basically speed and perception, so I can manage to have both a good amount of speed and a good amount of accuracy for her to land the debuffs. And unfortunately, the live arena bonuses don't affect anything here, which is honestly a bummer. They should have added those in there. That would have given us more of an incentive to do what we do in terms of the dungeons pushing and all that. Then we have Gnut, as I said at the start, Savage and Cruel or Savage. And crit damage maybe would give him bigger bursts of damage and would make the team guaranteed at under a minute. But it's pretty hard to get this amount of speed with, you know, Savage, Cruel, or probably would be Savage speed that could get this amount of speed. The base stat here, the defense, 3.7k, that's pretty low. And it's because basically I'm going with defensive boots, okay? Instead of defensive boots, I'm going with speed boots, obviously. And then yeah, I'm running accuracy here, so my defense is quite low. Accuracy because again, I'm using this exact Gnut for my Fire Knight team. And then the Giant Slayer here, although Giant Slayer procs one of the bosses, you know, counter when the boss is asleep, I still need that for the Fire Knight, so I didn't bother changing it. And Gnut doesn't really attack when the boss is asleep, so it doesn't affect me that much. Then we're gonna show Godseeker. Godseeker basically built her defensively. I could have gone War Master on her, honestly. Doesn't really matter. She's just there for the utility of the revive through her passive and the revive through her skill. That's it. You kind of need to have it booked, I would say, in terms of if the run goes a little bit longer than you want, you might need to revive somebody again with this. So I would say book her out anyway. But if you're running the Godseeker Ninja team, then you only have one Godseeker. Don't mess that up because the Godseeker Ninja team requires this to be on a longer cooldown, if I remember correctly. And then finally, my Kaimar, my second Kaimar. This is just a purely stone skin Kaimar with, I was lucky enough to have the refresh accessories. Those don't really matter. The only time it matters is if like I get like a double refresh. It's amazing for Gnut. It basically guarantees that the run will be shorter, right? And that's cool to have, but it doesn't always happen. Even with the 3 rings, it's like a 15% chance. So yeah, kind of sucks. Don't even have masteries on him. I didn't see the point of 800 gems just for a dungeon Kaimar, right? So that's the team. Let me show you guys the alternative. So here is the optimizer website. If you've never used this before, guys, this is the raid optimizer tool from the HH Gaming website. HH Gaming team has made this since, I can't even remember when this was out, but it feels like a part of raid. So when you optimize and try to find a team for Sand Devil, it shows these teams for my own account because of the champions I have, and these teams are teams that people out there have used already. So look at this, 12 seconds to clear the Sand Devil 25. This is the fastest team ever with 12-second run. It is quite insane in terms of the speeds required for Spider here. I'm guessing because of the animations, that's why the person who did this used Spider and running also in Acresia. Both are in Savage, by the way. Both Acresia and Gnut are in Savage, so no Relentless that I usually use for both the well, the Fire Knight for Gnut and Acresia when I use her for the Hydra. And then the Sifi looks to be in a Toxic. I'm guessing this is probably this guy's second Sifi, and that's why he's using it in a Toxic. And Spider is there basically with speed, and look at that accuracy, 508 only, and I get resisted with 650. This game just hates me. And then Climber just is there for the reset. So this is like an example of a team that you guys can run if you are end game enough in terms of the stats. And then this team looked like something again I could probably build, because this one only had like 2 battles with a success rate of 100%. I don't think it's really 100% with just 2 battles. The sample is not big enough. But this team, look at that. Speeds required by Riho, 370 is nuts. I can't get there. Can't get to those speeds. No chance with a good amount of accuracy. And this team is showcased at a 90% win rate, which is not something I wanted to do. So I didn't try to build that team. I instead went for the Godseeker team. And I think when you have something like a 90% win rate, you're losing out on, like, let's say you do 2,000 energy for maybe 2,000 points, right? On the Sand Devil turn tournament. You're gonna lose out on 200 because you're losing out 10% of your energy. You're losing out 200 energy. So that is significant. It's like 40-50 gems, but it adds up if you are farming Sand Devil for maybe thousands and thousands of energy. If it's something that you don't care and you just want a really fast team, then yeah, go for it. Well, anyway, guys, this was my team for the Sand Devil that I wanted to showcase today. If I find something else that is similar but with lower stats, I'll obviously showcase it. But I still think Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun are both extremely end game. The requirements are really high. Same thing goes for the Iron Twins in terms of both speed and accuracy or resistance requirements. So unfortunately, you gotta be at that point in your raid, you know, progression to be able to do these. You need to have high speeds, good champions, and good accuracy, combination of everything together to be able to get those fast clear times. If not, then this is the place where you should be focusing on, which is Dragon, Fire Knight, Spider, maybe some Ice Golem. Maybe I should do some for the Reflex set. Anyway, guys, this was the video. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.